In a large room shaped as the number 6, there were big black leather couches spread throughout. Throughout the room were graffiti illustrations of exuberant colors entangled together. Their focus were iconic musicians that once lived. Layla's fingertips softly stroked the graffiti art on the wall. She could feel a slight, heavy weight of energy in the room. Layla walked along the room, looking at the graffiti representing artists such as Aaliyah, George Michael, John Lennon, Tupac, Notorious B.I.G., Michael Jackson, Chester Bennington, Prince, Chris Cornell, Whitney Houston, Amy Winehouse, Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain, Jenny Rivera, and many more that had passed on. She looked at these artists and at how detailed they were illustrated on the walls. She was overwhelmed with sadness as she thought about these artists, how their voices impacted others, and how their songs touched lives, and wondered if she could ever become as successful as them. She wanted to think of something else to distract herself from her sadness. She sat down on one of the couches and started looking through her cell phone photos. She came across photos that made her smile. Seeing goofy photos of herself and friends lightened up her spirit. There was one photo that caught her attention. It was of her and Chloe in a photo together. Showered in confetti paper falling all around them, both wore Happy New Year signs on their heads. Chloe had a huge smile on her face, and Layla was sticking her tongue out, smiling, and gesturing with her hand the rock symbol. The symbol was her 2 middle fingers pressed down in her palm, while the index finger and pinky stood up. Remembering that night immediately washed her sadness away, leaving her immersed in a cheerful, uplifting energy. Layla touched her neck, reaching for something as she smiled, remembering that night. Layla was looking down at the glitter on her arm. She smiled, putting more on. Standing in Chloe's bathroom, she looked up in the mirror. Looking at her reflection, she stared at the makeup on her face. She felt like she was still missing something. She looked in her purse and added on more red lipstick. But that wasn't it. She added more mascara. But she felt like something was missing. Chloe stepped into the bathroom.
What are you doing in here?
Layla looked at her up and down. Noticing that she wore her mom's black fitted dress, she smiled.
I didn't tell you earlier, but you look amazing in that dress.
Beaming, she said.
Thanks. Come on, I need your support. Jesse's downstairs. The New Year's is about to come in.
Layla faced her, winking.
For sure. I'm your wing girl tonight. I just feel like I'm missing something.
I was saving a gift to give you later on for your birthday coming up. But I think this is the perfect time to give it to you.
When she left to get the gift, Layla looked on her phone to check how many people were watching her YouTube video singing. To her surprise, she had over 1 million views. When Chloe came back, she had a small box wrapped up in her hand. Layla, excited, asked,
Guess what?
Chloe was excited by Layla's excitement.
What?
She shouted.
I got over 1 million views on my YouTube video singing. It's like going viral.
Chloe, thrilled, jumped up, hugging her.
Totally lit!
When they pulled back from each other, she showed her the gift in her hands.
I think you're missing accessories.
Layla's face was curious as to what was in the box. Exultantly, she opened the gift and pulled out a necklace. It was made out of real silver, and a charm was dangling from it. It read, Best Friend. Layla was so deeply touched by the gift, she started tearing up. Chloe took the necklace from her and broke the charm in half, smiling.
Which part do you want?
She took the charm that read, Friend. She wiped the tear coming down her face.
Thank you so much.
I know life will take us on many different paths. My wish for you is that this year you get signed to a recording label. When you're traveling the world, meeting new friends, and having any celebrity man you want, always remember who was your first fan and best friend first.
Layla hugged her.
You are always my best friend, best fan, the best part of me. My wish for you is that Jesse becomes your boyfriend.
They laughed. Sitting in the music studio and rubbing her friend charm, she thought, Isn't it ironic how our wishes for each other came true? I can't believe I'm in a music studio and working on my first album. I can't imagine Chloe not being here for this experience with me. She's the best part of me, and I really hope she decides to come along this journey with me. She's been with me from the beginning. The door to the studio opened. Her manager, Jimmy, noticed she was lost in thought, looking at her cell phone. He didn't say anything. As a lion would lick its lips before an attack, he licked his lips, staring at her. To calm his intrusive thoughts, he leaned on the doorframe, taking off his glasses. When he spoke, Layla was caught off guard hearing his voice. She looked up at him with a huge smile.
Hi, Jimmy. I didn't even hear when you opened the door.
He laughed.
I'm a ninja. I can sneak up behind anyone and they wouldn't even know.
Layla slightly chuckled at how sarcastic he can be. She felt alone. She knew going into that room would start her career. Her parents wouldn't have time to help her because of their full-time jobs. She took a deep breath and looked at him.
So, what are we going to work on today?
Step into my office. We're going to talk about the music industry first. I think people get confused as to how it really works and how you can make a profit in this business. A lot of artists that I have managed make dumb choices that leave them broke. I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm telling you what you need to know.
He positioned his glasses back on and looked right at her.
The question is, from all that we discuss, how far will you go to make this dream of yours come true?